Welcome to Ask and Learn.
All right, we're doing problem number 28. And it's asking us for an example of an industry with perfectly elastic supply. Um, so what does perfectly elastic supply look like? Well, let's graph it. Here's price. Here's quantity. Normal downward sloping demand. And for a perfectly elastic supply, that means any change in price is going to lead to an infinite increase in quantity, or any decrease in price will be an infinite decrease in quantity. So what's that going to look like? Well, it's just going to be a horizontal line, perfectly horizontal line. There's your supply. And the question is, what's an industry that is exemplified by this? And that's pretty tough to answer because in practice, there are very few industries that are actually perfectly inelastic. But one way you could think about this is by thinking of a perfectly competitive industry. And this is something you're going to learn more about later, a few chapters down the road. But in theory, a perfectly competitive industry, for example, one making bananas, you don't have any product differentiation, right? I mean, one banana from one company is pretty much the same as a banana from another company. And because of that, firms can easily enter or exit the market, and there's really no difference between firms. And because of that, they're all operating at a break-even price. In other words, at the price they're selling at, let's say they're selling bananas for $1. Let's say this is $1 actually. If that price were to fall to 90 cents, they're just not going to produce bananas anymore, because at that point they're losing money. Or if it increases to 110, then they're going to make infinitely more bananas, because previously they're operating at break even and there are no real limits on how much they can produce, right? Because they're just bananas. And so because of that, a change in price will either cause them to completely stop production or amp it up to infinity.